You know what? I don't know. I guess that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to be very careful about how they do it. I mean, old habits die hard. I couldn't even imagine, guys trying to write about or announce the Cleveland Indians without using the Indians name
Sure.
either. So it'll be very interesting to see how people can get through that.
All right, let's talk Browns football. The incident at the end of the season last year, or in the season last year, with Myles Garrett. Of course, he has his big extension in the last couple of days. You've gotten to know him while covering the Browns. What do you think about him being affected personally and mentally going forward after the events of the mistake that he admittedly made, and then now going back into the NFL saying it's okay for him to play? What do you expect from him this year?
Well, I think one of the interesting things about the fact that he is returning this year, fans in some of the stands might not have appreciated, what he did, and he might have gotten a hard time from a lot of fans. But in some games this year, there won't even be fans. And where there are fans, in some cases, there will only be 10,000 in a stadium that seats 70,000. So I think when it comes to, kind of getting that hard time he might have gotten in some cities, I just don't think that it's going to have the same impact that it would have. Now in Pittsburgh, of course, that's a different story. But 70,000 fans in Pittsburgh, as opposed to 10 or
Sure.
15,000 raining boos down upon him, that's still going to be a different story. So I think he catches a little bit of a break in that regard. But just in terms of how this might affect him, he has to be able to go out and play football and play very aggressively while also not drawing those penalties, not losing his temper, and kind of walking that fine line.
Yeah, we think of Garrett and what he did with the helmet and all, but you forget he had some other penalties that were needless at the time and hurt the team.
Yeah, there were some things that happened in those first couple of games. He actually had as many penalties as he had sacks in those first two games. 5 sacks, I think 5 penalties, and more than $52,000 in fines. He had, knocked Trevor Simeon out of the Jets game with an ankle injury for the season. But once again, he contends. Now, he was fined for 2 illegal hits in that game, but he was still trying to work through what's a legal hit and what's an illegal hit. And I think he kind of got that as the season went along, and hopefully he will have remembered what a legal hit is this
All
year.
right, all right.